Mr. Noble, can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it was on for sound. Thank you. Hello, Minya. Am I visible? I don't see something that has my picture, so am I visible?
I don't see you. I hear you. How are you doing? Good to have you with us.
Thank you. There we go. There we go. New platform here. Hello.
We're going to wait just a moment for other folks to arrive, and then we'll get started for our police commission meeting today. Hold on 1 second. All right, good evening, everyone. It's 4:02, and I believe we're going to get started here with our monthly meeting.
This conference will now be recorded.
And so as you can just hear from that, as part of these monthly meetings, we do record them. And so you'll have heard that notice just now. So just getting started, my name is Steve Noble. I'm the mayor here in Kingston and also act as the chair of the Kingston Police Commission. Today is October 21st, 2020. I would ask that as this is a virtual meeting, everyone please mute yourself, during the call, unless you're called upon to speak. One of the things about these virtual meetings is that this meeting will be recorded and posted on the City of Kingston website on the agenda, as well as we do have a Kingston Police Commission page on our website as well, where you can find more information about the Kingston Police Commission and what it does and the work that we are doing here in the City of Kingston. And so one of the first things that we're just going to do is roll call here. So just for the records of the minutes, I see our commission members, Minya Dejanette is here, Shaniqua Bowden is here, and Brad Jordan is here via phone, I believe. We also have our police chief, Egidio Tinti, as well as our Common Council liaison, Alderman Tony Davis from the 6th Ward. And so thank you all for joining us. The first thing that we have as part of our monthly commission meeting is we do have an opportunity for public comment. To be able to have a comment, we accept those requests to our secretary, who is Minion Dejanette. I believe, Minion, you have 2 people who signed up to speak today as part of our public session. And again, if there's others, let me know. But Minya, I don't know if you want to go off your list and call out those that are, prepared to speak tonight.
Yeah, so our the first person who signed up actually had a scheduling conflict, so they won't be speaking tonight. That means that we will be starting with Dr. Sablo, and if you are available, we can't see you at the moment, so hopefully we can get your camera connected, but you are welcome to speak if you are here with us.
All right. So my camera's not visible, you're saying?
You can't see your camera is not visible at the moment. Your audio is fine.
Okay. I'm not sure what's going on. So for whatever that technical issue is, I apologize. To the Honorable Stephen Noble, the mayor of the city, and to the Kingston Police Commissioners, Jordan, Deschanant, and Bowding, I thank you for this opportunity to meet with you this evening. I apologize for any technical difficulties that have unfolded, and I thank family and friends who are here with me this evening. As introduced, I am Dr. Kahan Sablo. I'm a new resident of Kingston, and I bring you greetings as a proud resident of Ward 4. I moved to the city in July to work at Bard College as a Dean of Inclusive Excellence. Did not imagine that 3 months later, I would be sitting here. I have always been an active member of my community, an EMT paramedic for over 30 years, a licensed minister and musician, scouting gen leader, twice elected to the school board, and a member of the fraternity of Martin Luther King Thurgood Marshall and W.E.B. Du Bois, the Brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha. I don't share these affiliations for the purposes of bragging, but to demonstrate that I remain committed to serving my local community, and I look forward to serving you, Kingston. However, on September 21st, after way too many hours of Zoom meetings, I engaged in an act of self-care and I went jogging. I stopped outside a Burger King to type an urgent work-related email and thought nothing of a police car that came over the hill and stopped next to me. The officer motioned his vehicle to me to come towards his vehicle, and I assumed it was to fuss at me because I was jogging without my mask on at the moment. I just assumed that he would tell me to put my mask on and we would go about our way. However, the officer advised that people were calling and complaining because I was looking through vehicles. I was completely shocked by this accusation, so I requested confirmation, and the officer affirmed. All I could say was, "That's very unfortunate." A second officer arrived to the scene, and at this point I realized putting a mask on was now the least of my concerns. I tilted my hand forward so that the officer could see that it was only a cell phone in my hand because I was scared. I wanted to start recording, but I didn't move because I was nervous. Does he really believe that I was casing vehicles to commit a felony? I was concerned. And my heart was noticeably pounding in my chest because I was angry. How did an afternoon jog become a potentially life-altering and hopefully not life-ending event? The Zoom screens at this point at home didn't seem that bad anymore. The police report indicated that the individual was a black male wearing a tank top, looking in vehicles as he was walking. I was standing still, typing on a phone, so I was not walking. I was wearing a long sleeve hoodie, so that was meaning I was not in a tank top. The report says the officers located a subject in the area of Burger King fitting the description. Since I was not wearing a tank top, exactly what description was I fitting? I'm sure the natural question being asked by the law enforcement brass is, why is he here today? He wasn't handcuffed, he wasn't arrested, he wasn't shot, he wasn't detained long. Nothing happened on that day. But if that is your position, I respectfully disagree. Because a whole lot happened on that day. That day I had the intentions of Trayvon Martin. All I was trying to do was go home. That day, I had the youthful spirit of Tamir Rice. I just wanted to go outside and play and have some fun. That day, I had the bewilderment of Eric Gardner. I thought I was getting stopped for a nuisance violation, but an entirely different situation was starting to unfold. That day, I was my black son. That day, I was the black son of every parent in the country who has had to have the conversation, that talk with their kid about what to do when confronted with a police officer. Just stay safe, stay calm. We'll deal with the rest later. Now, I make no apologies about my support for the many good police officers who put their lives on the line every day to protect and conserve their community. I empathize with the split-second responses required when officers must make very difficult decisions with high degrees of authority. However, to whom much is given, much is required. So let me be clear, I have no animosity towards this officer. It is my belief that he probably arrived with the best of intentions, and truth be told, he was probably as a cop can be when falsely accusing someone of preparing to commit an alleged felony that could be happening. Our exchange is a representation of a larger concern of mine. This jogger and that officer are relevant to the larger concern at hand. What would have happened to a 19-year-old black boy who was angry? Angry because women clutch their purses and cross the street when they see him coming. Angry because COVID-19 has caused him to lose a job and he can't get another one. Angry because maybe he messed up before in the past and he's trying to get it together, and now a white police officer stops him who doesn't understand his pain. Stops him because he's wearing a hoodie when somebody called about a tank top somewhere else. What could have happened that day? I'm very glad you don't have to deal with my family, friends, and loved ones demanding that Broadway be shut down for a Black Lives Matter demonstration. So the question becomes, how do we move forward? How do we turn Kingston's one black cop and one Latino cop into a demographic that mirrors the city of Kingston? The president of Bard College has expressed an interest in offering tuition waivers for people of color interested in working in the Kingston Police District. I understand that there are complications about that, but come, let's reason together. Before there's a national hashtag staining the streets of Kingston with the blood of a black boy from an officer-involved shooting, my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha, has worked with the local teachers union and collected over 100 books for school-aged children. Can we assign uniformed officers to engage in story time with local children in the spirit of community policing? If so, I have the books now. I don't need to know about your curriculum for de-escalation and diversity training. I want to know if the people in the Fourth Ward think it's working. Can we rally together to protect mental health care in this community so that Kingstonians with mental illness can be greeted by a therapist and not a police badge? As I close, that day can be a moment in time that stops a mother from visiting a gravesite unnecessarily. That day can be an opportunity for rededication to the spirit of community policing. That day can be the moment when the Kingston Police Department decides that it will be the role model, the vanguard for police community engagement. So to the members of the Police Commission, I thank you for your service, and no offense, I look forward to the day when you can all be relieved of your duties because your work is no longer needed. But in the interim, if we can do any of these things that I mentioned, what happened to me on that day will have all been worth it. I thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
so
Tablo.
much.
We appreciate those words, and as I can just let everyone know that we received your complaint and are following up as a police commission, and will be discussed by the commission members. And so again, thank you for those public comments. Minya, did you have anyone else this evening for public comment?
No, that's it. But I think there might be some people who might want to speak as well. So just wanted to give them that space if possible.
And so is there anyone else that would like to speak as part of the public comment this evening?
My name is Hugh Zuber. I wasn't scheduled to speak, but I feel compelled to if I'm allowed. I am a proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity. I'm the president of the chapter in the Mid-Hudson Valley. Dr. Sablo is a member of our organization, a very esteemed and well-regarded member. I agree with him that there are instances where you speak up, and then there are instances for action. And we as members of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity have different programs in place nationally that assist police officers in working with young Black and brown young men. So we stand committed with Dr. Sablo, what he's saying, in doing whatever the city of Kingston wants to do in collaboration with the first historically Black Greek letter organization, intercollegiate organization. So I say to the mayor, I say to my law school friend who's not on the line, Kevin Bryant, who I know is corporation counsel, that we stand committed to working on finding solutions to problems, and we stand committed to working with the city of Kingston if needed. So I just would thank you for your time, and that's all I had to say.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Any other comments this evening? All right. Hearing no other comments at this point, we're going to move on to the rest of our agenda. And so up next on our agenda is a motion to approve the minutes from our previous meeting. Again, that video recording and transcript can be found on the City of Kingston website, on the agenda of last month's meeting, as well as on our Kingston Live page. And so do I have a motion from a commissioner to be able to accept that?
Motion.
Thank you, Minya. Second? Shaniqua, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, great. Thank you very much. Minutes are adopted from the previous meeting. Up next, we have our any communications that we may have received. Minya, are there any that you're aware of at this point that you'd like to share?
No, nothing direct.
Okay, great. Thank you. Next, we have a report from our police chief, Chief Tinty.
Thank you, Mayor. I know the subjects of interest usually month by month. There's the Internet Partner Violence Initiative. We have had 0 call-ins yet this month that have been scheduled. We continue to be part of that with John Jay and National Networks. I think it's a success. Saugerties has been adopting it, and I believe the program will be extended into other jurisdictions in Ulster County as well. So we have been on top of that. It's a good program, and it's shown to have reductions. As far as the local law enforcement partnership, some of the numbers that were updated on, this is provided by Cliff Tremper, who oversees the patrol division. We're looking at approximately 1,290 traffic stops since the program started, and about 1,115 warnings have been issued. So, you know, I know that we've had numerous community meetings over it. There's been some discussions on it. Right now, we're kind of finding a way to continue our program without the level of enforcement that some people are finding to be maybe too much. We're trying to find that balance, and I think we're we're trying to move now into the community aspect part of it, and kind of lessen the enforcement aspect of it. So we knew that this was going to be something that had to be tweaked as we go along. And right now, as I mentioned before, the efforts of the police department through law enforcement, state police, the sheriff's office, in some cases the DA's office, I think certainly have caused, at least if anything, some dialogues in the community that we've been kind of working through. So we're pretty fortunate that there has been some reductions, as you know, as you're aware, and I try to keep the commission aware that there have been shootings since the program started, since law enforcement partnership started. But we're able to bring those individuals to justice and in front of the court. So at this point, like I said, I can send you some statistics. I know that right now they do have a meeting with Lieutenant Tremper and some of the staff from the state police and the sheriff, and they're kind of working through how to keep the program growing, minimize the number of officers involved, but continue to put the efforts out, more of a community service than a law enforcement presence.
Great. Thank you, Chief. Are there any other, I think that's it for you, right? I think the other update, I think, is probably part of kind of old business and new business, and probably both you and Minya and Shaniqua, whoever is on our Reimagining task force. I think all of you have served and are serving in some part. And so, Minya, do you want to give that update now on where we are with the Reimagining Public Safety Task Force?
Yeah, it is actually just me as the liaison right now, and at the current moment, we're 2 meetings in. We have divided. Lester has been organizing us into subcommittees, so we each get a priority topic to work on, and we're just basically picking a priority topic and re-envisioning the police task force to focus on, to come up with a solution by December that we will be handing over to the Common Council to review and pass, hopefully. And we will be having a public forum next week on the 28th that everybody is welcome to give their public comment and comment on suggestions, comments, anything. It's really a listen. From my understanding, it's a listening meeting coming up. And I saw you, Tony. I saw you had raised your hand.
I just had a question to the chief. Chief, you said it was 1,290 traffic stops, about 1115 warnings. Can you tell me how many arrests have been made?
Yeah, right now the numbers I have in front of me, we're showing about 609 traffic tickets. So if you kind of do the math, you can see that there's multiple occasions where the drivers have received tickets for the stops. The arrests themselves, 211 is what I'm showing on the arrest numbers.
Thank you.
30 warrants have been vacated and 27 DWIs.
What do you mean by vacated? You pulled away.
So usually when the court issues a warrant, whether it's an arrest or a bench warrant, we call it vacating. That means that the subject was arrested and brought in front of the judge.
How many DWIs was there?
27.
Thank you.
Yep.
I was just going to mention about the task force this on the 28th. It'll be the first public meeting, as Minya mentioned, and not only will the meeting be virtual, it is also going to be there's going to be 2 viewing locations at New Progressive Church, as well as Clinton Avenue Methodist, working with Samadhi there. And so it's going to be limited to 25 people per site, just for safety reasons. But it's an opportunity for folks in the community to also, if they're unable to connect virtually, it's a good way for folks to come together to be able to still participate, in this public process. And again, this is just the beginning. of a many-month process where we'll be really looking to the community for their guidance on the direction and work that the Reimagining Public Safety Task Force is doing.
Steve, Mayor,
Yes.
what time was that? So that people know.
I believe it's at 6, right? 6 to 8. I believe it's 6 to 8 on the 28th. Yeah. All right. And so I think for the Public Safety Task Force, there was just a quick question from someone, is that you can find all of the details both on the City of Kingston's Facebook page, where we'll post the link to be able to join in virtually with the meeting, but also if you visit kingston-ny.gov, you'll see information right on the front page about it, and it'll also appear as to where it'll have all of the details of how to log in, the phone number, and how to participate in the public process. And so with that said, I think I wanted to just check with, we do have executive session items this evening, both to review complaints, to review use of force over the last month, like we do every month. Or is there any other items that any commissioners wanted to bring up at this point before we go into executive session? Okay. And so hearing nothing else for our business this evening, what I'll do is I will ask for a motion to enter into executive session to discuss our complaint that we've received, as well as reviewing use of force. And as part of that, I'd like to invite our liaison, Tony Davis, if he'd like to join us. He's more than welcome to if he can. Do I have a motion for that? I've got a motion from Minya, and I think I got a second from Shaniqua. Okay, and so with that said, we're going to move over to our executive session. I want to thank everyone for joining this evening, and again, I encourage you to get involved in our task force meeting next week, and then we'll be able to again, these commission meetings also happen monthly, so hopefully you'll join us again next month.
This conference is no longer being recorded.